What's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is definitely a crazy one. I think you guys will really enjoy it. If you do, leave a like on the video, and let's just jump into this. So today's story time all takes place back in 10th grade. Not in school specifically, but I was in 10th grade when this takes place. So 10th grader Luna had a pretty standard routine. I would wake up, go to school every day, come home, and either play Xbox or hang out with friends. That was like my day-to-day routine every single day. And on this day, it was like no other. I got up, went to school. I was at school all day, and then at the end of the day at school, a couple of my friends walked up to me as I was walking out of the building, and they were like, "Yo, man, you want to hang out after school?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." They're like, "All right, cool, we're going to pick you up at your house." I was like, "Sounds good, I'll see you guys in like an hour." So I get home, I get ready to hang out with them. An hour later, a car pulled up to my house. It was them. None of my friends from school actually drove yet at this point, but one of their older brothers did, so he would just always hang out with us and drive us around. So that was pretty cool of him. And anyway, I get in the car with them, and we're just driving around, bumping music, just talking. And his brother, the one that was driving, was like a couple years older than us. And he always thought he was so cool because he was older than us. He would always try and like show off all the things he could do before us, like drive and, like, I don't know, smoke weed and stuff, even though we were pretty much already doing that at this point. Well, some of us were smoking weed, but nobody was driving yet at this point. But anyway, as we're driving around, the person driving, the older one, let's just call him Donnie, we stop at a red light, and Donnie turns around and looks at all of us in the back seat and goes, "You guys want to see something cool?" And I was like, "Sure." And Donnie pops open the glove compartment, and there's just a big bag of shrooms just sitting in the glove compartment. And I was like, "Cool, man." He goes, "Yeah, man, just bought these earlier today. Got a lot of them." I was like, "What are you going to do with them?" He's like, "What do you think, bro? I'm going to trip balls." I was like, "Yeah, but like, who are you going to do it with?" He's like, "Oh, some friends from school." I was like, "Cool, dude." And then right after he says this, I realize something. I look up and the light is green and he's not going. And I was like, "Yo, the light." He goes, "What?" And we're all like, "Bro, the light, look." And he turns around and he looks at the light. He's like, "Oh, shit." And he starts driving really fast. Little does dumbass Donnie know, there's a police officer behind us at this red light. So when the light turns green and Donnie starts peeling out fast as hell, the police officer sees this and doesn't like it very much. And he flicks on his lights and starts pulling us over. To which Donnie starts freaking the fuck out. He's like, oh shit, dude, oh my god, I'm getting pulled over. I have those shrooms in the glove compartment. Fuck. And I was like, "Dude, hide them." He's like, "Where?" And I was like, "I don't know. Hide them though." And he proceeds to open the glove compartment and throw them in my lap and goes, "You fucking hide them." So I have no time to think. So I throw them over to my friend. And then he throws them over back to me like it's fucking hot potato. And I was like, "God damn it." And I hide them under my leg because I don't know where else to put them. There were so many of them, I couldn't put them in my shoe. Like I literally couldn't shove it in my shoe. I didn't have time to do that. There was no like seat pockets. Like, you know how some cars on the back of the front seat, there's like little pockets to put stuff in. They didn't have that in this car. And there was no room under the seat to put anything as well. So I was like, "God damn it." So I put it under my leg. And a minute later, the police officer walks up to the driver's side window and Donnie rolls the window down. He's like, "What's up, officer?" And the cop goes, "License and registration, please." To which Donnie reaches into the glove compartment and grabs his license and registration, hands it back to the officer. The officer's like, "So, you know why I pulled you over?" And Donnie goes, Was it because I went too fast at the red light?" And the cop goes, "No, not exactly. I was behind you at the red light, and you looked really distracted. You were showing something to people in the back seat, and you weren't going when the light turned green. And when you did go, you peeled off real fast. So I'm just wondering, what's got you so distracted in here?" And he kind of looks in the car a little bit, like he pokes his head in. And everybody in the car looked like they just pissed themselves. Like everybody looked terrified. And Donnie's like, "Oh, nothing, officer. I wasn't distracted. I was just kind of like, not paying attention." And the officer goes, "Really? It sounds like you were distracted." And Donnie's like, "Nope, don't know what you're talking about." And the officer proceeds to kind of circle around the car and look through the windows at us. And he looks at me and sees a little bit of the bag poking out from under my leg. And he taps on the window and goes, "Roll the window down." And I roll the window down. And he goes, "What's under your leg, boy?" I was like, "Nothing." And he's like, "Lift your leg." So I lift my leg like a fucking dog. And he grabs the bag and he goes, "What's this?" And he shows it to everyone. And Donnie looks at it and goes, "Oh, I've never seen that before." And all I wanted to do was smack Donnie in the fucking head. Like he was just throwing me under the bus as the owner of these shrooms, not himself. And the cop goes, "So you're saying that this young gentleman is the one that possesses them?" And he points at me. And Donnie looks back at me and goes, I'm not saying anything. They're not mine." And like he was just stuttering. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, I am about to go to jail for something that's not even mine. Like, that's all I could think. I was like, bro, I am really about to go to jail for something that I didn't even do. And I just regretted putting them under my leg. All I should have done was just thrown them back up to Donnie and let him deal with it. So the cop looks at me and he goes, what's your name? I was like, Austin. He goes, what's your last name? And I tell him. And he's like, are they yours? I was like, no. He goes, I didn't think so. I don't think they're yours at all. I think someone in this car is having you hide them for him. I think they're yours. And he points at Donnie. Like, this cop knew what the fuck was going down. Right after he says this, Donnie's like, no, man, they're not mine. They're somebody else's. And the cop goes, really? Because I think what you were doing at that red light is you were showing them off to these kids. And then when you found out you were getting pulled over, you threw them back there. At least that's what it looked like when I saw you doing it through the window. Yeah, this fucking cop saw him showing off the shrooms to us through the back window of the car. And he also saw him toss them over the seat to me. This cop saw everything through the back window of Donnie's car. So yeah, needless to say, we were pretty much like fucked. So Donnie immediately goes into full-blown apology mode. He's like, officer, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to lie to you. I'm just scared. I don't want to go to jail. Like, I wasn't trying to be like a show-off. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. And the officer's like, calm down, Donnie. Calm down. Listen, all I want is a little bit of honesty. A little bit of honesty goes a long way with me. So just tell me the truth about what happened here today, and we can cut a deal. And Donnie goes, okay, look. Yes, I was showing off the mushrooms to my little brother and his friends in the back seat. After I saw you were pulling me over, I threw them back there, and now I'm here. And officer goes, so they're yours? And Donnie goes, yes. He goes, that's all I wanted to hear, Donnie. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a ticket because you're not wearing your seatbelt. And he was right. Donnie wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He's like, because you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're getting a ticket because you're not getting off completely free today. What you did was wrong. And also, pay attention to the road, please. Look at the road. Stop showing off drugs to kids in the back seat. That's not cool. And also, I'm taking your shrooms away because they're illegal. And Donnie's like, that's fine, officer. That's completely fine. I'll take it. And the officer goes, okay, wait here. And he takes his stuff back to the cop car, writes in the ticket, whatever he has to do, brings the ticket back, hands it to Donnie, and he's like, all right, you pay it on this date or whatever. If you want to fight it, you go to this address, this court. You know, classic ticket stuff. And after he gives him the ticket, he hands all his stuff back and walks back to the cop car. And Donnie starts his car, and we start driving away. And Donnie goes, fuck that cop, bro. He took my shrooms. I was like, bro, you're lucky he didn't arrest you. You had so many mushrooms in here, you probably could have went to jail. Like, this dude didn't just have a little baggie of mushrooms. It was a lot of fucking shrooms. Like, a lot. I was like, bro, listen, I know a seatbelt ticket's annoying and it can be expensive, but you're lucky you're not in the back of his car right now driving to jail. He's like, yeah, I guess you're right. I was like, also, if you ever throw shrooms in my lap again and make me deal with the situation, I'm going to smack you in the head. He's like, yeah, man, that was lame of me. I'm sorry. And yeah, that was pretty much that. After that, Donnie just drove me home, and I went back home and just played some COD because I was kind of over hanging out with him that day because he pissed me off. And I learned my lesson about taking the fall for certain people that don't deserve that. But yeah, guys, luckily everyone kind of got out of that situation okay and not in too much trouble. But moral of the story is, just don't be like Donnie, honestly. Don't be like him in this story time. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of today's story time. I thought it was a pretty crazy one. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.